There is a biological fact about your brain that, once understood, makes every struggle you have ever had with overthinking irrelevant. It is a fact that neuroscience has tried to ignore and philosophy has tried to debate, but the data is irrefutable. Here is the data. By the time you become consciously aware of a thought, your brain has already processed it for approximately 300 to 500 milliseconds. Let that sink in. This means that what you call my thought is actually a delayed output. You are not the one generating the thought in real time. You are the one receiving the report of a process that happened half a second ago in the dark machinery of your unconscious. Most people live their entire lives trapped in a loop of suffering because they believe they are the thinker. They fight their thoughts, they judge their thoughts, they try to fix their thoughts. But this is like yelling at a television screen because you don't like the movie that is playing. The screen is not generating the movie, it is just displaying the signal. In this dossier, we are going to dismantle the illusion of the thinker. We are going to look at the hard science, from Benjamin Libet's experiments to HeartMath's frequency studies, to prove that you are not your thoughts. And then I am going to give you the exact operational protocol to shift your position from the processor to the observer. This is not a meditation exercise. This is a structural change in how your consciousness interfaces with reality. In the 1980s, a neurophysiologist named Benjamin Libet conducted a series of experiments that terrified the scientific community. He asked participants to move their wrist whenever they felt the urge to do so. He monitored their brain activity using EEG. What he found broke the concept of free will as we know it. The brain showed a rise in electrical potential called the readiness potential nearly half a second before the participant was consciously aware of their decision to move. The decision was made by the biological machinery before the conscious I claimed ownership of it. Why does this matter to you? Because the exact same mechanism applies to your thinking. When a thought like "I am not good enough" or "I am anxious about money" arises, you make a fatal error. You say, "I think this." You claim authorship, and by claiming authorship, you accept liability. You burden your nervous system with the weight of that thought, believing it defines your identity. But the science says otherwise. The thought arose from a complex algorithm of past memories, environmental triggers, and biological states. It was presented to your awareness after the fact. The voice in your head is not the pilot steering the plane. It is a commentator describing the flight path that the autopilot has already set. And the moment you realize the commentator is not the pilot, you are free. We must redefine what the human brain actually is. You have been taught that the brain is a generator, a factory of original ideas. This is false. In the quantum core framework, we view the brain as a receiver-transmitter. It is a biological radio tuned to specific frequency bands. If your radio is tuned to 98.5 FM, it will play the music broadcasting on that frequency. If you don't like the song, you don't take the radio apart. You don't blame the radio. You understand that the radio is simply translating an invisible signal into audible sound. Your mind works the same way. The thoughts playing in your head are simply the translation of the frequency state your nervous system is currently holding. If you are in a survival state, beta brain waves, high cortisol, your brain will receive and translate thoughts of danger, lack, and urgency. If you are in a coherent state, alpha or theta brain waves, heart coherence, your brain will receive thoughts of solution, connection, and flow. The thoughts are not the cause, they are the symptom. They are the readout on the dashboard. Trying to change your life by fighting your thoughts is like trying to speed up your car by manually moving the needle on the speedometer. It is useless and it is exhausting.
Let's talk about the cost, because this error is expensive. Every time you identify with a thought, every time you say, "This is me," you fuse your consciousness with that energy pattern. This is called constructive interference in physics, but in a negative way. You amplify the signal. A thought arises. What if I fail? If you observe it neutrally, it dies in seconds. It has no power source. But you identify with it. You say, "I am worried about failing." Now you have fed your life force into the pattern. The brain fires more neurons to support the story. The endocrine system pumps adrenaline. The thought grows from a whisper to a scream. You are funding your own suffering. You are paying for the very prison you are trapped in. The alternative is what we call metacognitive dissociation. This is the ability to stand behind the thought, to see the thought as an object passing through space, separate from the subject, you, who is watching it. When you achieve this separation, you cut the fuel line. The thought may still arise because the old neural pathways are still there. But without your identification, it has no momentum. It rises and it dissolves. This is the mechanism of true peace, not the absence of noise, but the absence of reaction to the noise.
I do not want you to believe me. I want you to verify this in your own system. We are going to run a diagnostic test right now. For the next 60 seconds, your objective is simple. Do not think. Command your brain to stop all output. Total silence. Try it now.
What happened? Unless you are a Zen master with 40 years of training, you failed. Thoughts intruded. Is this working? What am I doing? I hear a sound outside. I am hungry. The thoughts came without your permission. They came against your will. If you were the generator of your thoughts, you could stop them instantly. You would have total control. The fact that you cannot stop them proves definitively that you are not the one doing it. You are the space in which they happen. This failure is your liberation. It proves that thinking is an automatic biological function like digestion. You don't say, "I am digesting." You say, "My body is digesting." You must learn to say, "My brain is thinking." It is a function happening in you, but it is not you. We need to go deeper. If you are not generating these thoughts, where do they come from? We have discussed personal memory and biological loops, but there is a third source, the collective field. Carl Jung called it the collective unconscious. Quantum mechanics points to non-local consciousness. In our model, we classify these as type 3 thoughts. These are thoughts that have no origin in your direct experience. Fear of a global event you are not involved in. Anxiety about the economy when your own job is secure. Sudden waves of sadness or anger that have no trigger in your immediate environment. You are picking up static from the noosphere, the sphere of human thought. Because you are unaware of this mechanism, you assume these thoughts are yours. You adopt them. You integrate them into your identity. I am just a depressed person. No, you are a highly sensitive receiver tuned to a depressed frequency band of the collective. This is critical for anyone on a manifestation path. You cannot manifest your own reality if your operating system is clogged with the malware of the collective mind. You must learn to distinguish between signal, your authentic intuition and direct perception, and noise, collective static and old programming. How do we filter the noise? We use a labeling protocol. The brain requires categorization to process data. When a thought is unnamed, it feels like truth. When a thought is labeled, it becomes data. For the next 7 days, you will execute the labeling protocol. You do not engage with the content of the thought. You simply tag it and archive it. Sit for 5 minutes. Watch the screen of your mind. When a thought appears, categorize it immediately. System loop, repetitive worry or memory. Simulation, fantasy about the future or past. Noise, random, nonsensical or collective static. Judgment, opinion about self or others. Do not analyze why the thought is there, just label it. That is a system loop. That is noise. That is a simulation. By labeling, you activate the prefrontal cortex, the executive center of the brain. This pulls energy away from the amygdala, the fear center, and the default mode network, the wandering mind. You are literally rewiring your brain to operate from the executive seat rather than the reactive seat. Now, let's address the hits that keep playing, the recurring thoughts. I am alone. I will never make it. People can't be trusted. These are not random. These are hardwired neural algorithms. Your brain is a prediction engine. Its primary job is not truth, it is survival. It predicts what will happen next based on what happened before. If you felt abandoned at age 7, your brain wrote a code. Connection is unsafe. Expect rejection. Today, at age 30, you walk into a room. The brain runs the code. It predicts rejection. It generates thoughts of insecurity. You think these thoughts are a response to the room. No, they are a response to the memory. You are hallucinating the past and calling it the present. To break this, you must trace the source code. When a heavy, recurring thought pattern hits you, stop and ask, what is the timestamp of this data? Does this feeling belong to the present moment, or is it an echo? Usually, you will find it belongs to a version of you that no longer exists. When you identify it as old data, you strip it of its authority. You stop treating it as a prophecy and start treating it as a glitch.
This brings us to the physics of creation. Why does this matter for manifestation? Because the universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to the signal you broadcast. The HeartMath Institute has proven that the heart generates an electromagnetic field 5,000 times stronger than the brain. But here is the catch. When your head, thoughts, and your heart, frequency, are in conflict, the signal is incoherent. It is static. The quantum field cannot organize around static. If you are thinking, I want abundance, but you are identified with thoughts of, I am broke, your broadcast is canceled out. But when you detach from the thoughts, when you enter the state of the observer, the mental noise quiets down and the natural, coherent frequency of the awareness itself begins to broadcast. This is the peace that passes all understanding. It is a state of high coherence. In this state, there is no resistance. There is no counter-intention. You become a superconductor for reality creation. This is why the observer state, the God state, is the most powerful manifestation tool in existence. You are not forcing reality. You are clearing the interference so reality can align with your core.
How do we stabilize this state? Most people can find it during meditation, but lose it the moment they open their emails. We need an integration protocol. We call this the awareness anchor. The objective: shift your center of gravity from the stream to the bank. Imagine a river. The river is your thoughts. It is moving, turbulent, cold. Most of you are swimming in the river, drowning in the current. The awareness anchor is the act of climbing out of the water and sitting on the riverbank. You still see the river, you still hear the roar, but you are not wet. The practice: twice a day for 10 minutes. Close your eyes. Locate the part of you that is noticing the thoughts. Ask, who is listening? Do not answer with words. Answer by feeling the spaciousness. Turn your attention backward. Look at the one who is looking. You will notice something profound. The awareness itself has no problems. The awareness is not anxious. The awareness is not broke. The awareness is not lonely. Only the thoughts are those things. The container is pristine. Rest in the container. Every time you do this, you lay down a new neural track. You are training your nervous system to default to peace instead of panic.
When you live from the anchor, reality shifts. It has to. This is the observer effect. When you observe a quantum system, you collapse the wave function. When you observe your life through the lens of fear thoughts, you collapse a reality of fear. When you observe your life through the lens of pure awareness, you collapse a reality of possibility. Let me give you a concrete example. You have a thought. Money is hard to get. Old you believes it, feels tight, takes desperate action, broadcasts lack. Reality reflects lack. New you, observer, notices the thought, labels it system loop, does not buy it, remains in the coherent state of the observer. Because you did not engage, the frequency of lack was not broadcast. You remained open. In that openness, a new idea comes. A new opportunity is seen. A synchronicity is allowed to land. You didn't manifest the money by thinking hard. You allowed the money by not blocking it with your identification to false thoughts. This leads to the final question, the only one that matters. If you are not your thoughts, if you are not your feelings, if you are not your history, who are you? You are the consciousness that is witnessing the play. You are the vast, silent, intelligent field in which the person named you is appearing. This is not a metaphor. This is your structural identity. When you shift your identity from the character to the consciousness, the game changes. The character struggles. The consciousness orchestrates. The character fears death. The consciousness is eternal. The character chases. The consciousness attracts. This is the ultimate shift. It is the move from little me to quantum self. The recognition that you are not your thoughts is the gateway, but you must walk through it. For the next 24 hours, your mission is simple. Treat every thought that enters your mind as a suggestion, not a command. Treat every voice in your head as a radio broadcast, not your own voice. Create distance. Find the gap. Because in that gap lies your freedom, and in that gap lies your power. You are not the noise. You are the silence underneath it. Stop listening to the static. Start being the signal. Subscribe to the channel. Stay conscious. Welcome to Quantum Core.